I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about inventions from the year 2020. And of course, Time Magazine, you may or may not know, but they have their 100 best inventions from the year. And it's a fascinating list. As you would imagine, they're healthcare inventions, there are a lot of sustainability inventions, mobility, convenience, education and self-actualization, increased efficiency and customization. And of course, things like the COVID vaccine are on there, Blue Origin spaceship. But I thought it would be fun. I picked out 5 of them that I thought were particularly interesting, not only because they were clever, which they are, but because they imply bigger innovation and creative strategy. So the first one I want to share in the world of healthcare, I'll start it with a curious and quirky question, and that is, what is the leading cause of death among firefighters? And I had no idea that this was the case. And the bigger strategy here, before I give you the answer, is really problem finding, right? Sometimes as leaders, it's key that we not only, get answers, but that we find interesting problems for our teams to work on. So the answer is actually the leading cause of death among firefighters is heart disease. That's in large part because their extended exposure to high heat is what the research is telling us. And this is also true of some industrial workers and members of the military. So the invention, which is kind of obvious in some ways once you identify that problem, it's called the Slate Safety Biotech Band. And it's a wearable tracking device that keeps track of signs of stress, your heart rate, core body temperature, etc. It's something that now the military has adopted. So that's number one. Number two, the creative strategy here is if you're trying to reinvent your industry or your product, get experts from outside of your industry to help you do that. Good example of that was my business partner, Gary Fraser, when he had to come up with a new toothbrush for the Mentadent brand. They enlisted the help of surgical instrument designers and engineers to help them invent this new award-winning toothbrush, which is actually in the New York Museum now. So what's the invention this year? It's actually in the realm of wheelchairs, and they got it's called Revolve Air. They got the Ferrari car designer named Andrea Michelin to build this wheelchair. It has puncture-proof wheels, and so you can fold this thing up, and it'll fit in the overhead luggage space in an airplane. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, the innovation strategy this is around the area of customization, certainly, but I would call this in some ways the wish strategy. And this is more of an innovation strategy. It's sort of not compromising. It's working very much from the end state. And so the example now I'm going to give is Unspun. And they've figured out how to do 3D printable jeans. Well, they've been around, that notion has been around for years, right? 3D print fabrics. But they spent 4 years in the development of this thing. And so they're printing it on demand. They can print these jeans in 10 minutes using yarn. And how do they do it? They use a body scan from your iPhone. But and it costs $200 to $225. What's so extraordinary about this, though, is that it captures, are you ready? 30,000 data points to design your blue jeans, right? So, talk about a custom fit, right? The fourth one I want to share, the breakthrough innovation strategy, and this is, I think, a profound one and a critical one, especially for product managers to saying, oh my God, do I do a new package? Do I do a new flavor? What am I going to do here, right? The breakthrough innovation strategy is allowing yourself to solve customer problems outside of your area of expertise, right? And so L'Oreal has come up with a brilliant invention, in my opinion, that actually at the back end turned out to help them move more product, but that wasn't the original intent. Hair salons, I don't know if you know, but they use thousands of gallons of water a day. And so this is obviously in the sustainability area. Can we help them save water? Really simple question. They invented a device that attaches to the sink. It has 3 spouts on it. It allows you to combine the water with shampoo, conditioner, and treatments. And so those go directly into the water stream. And the key to this device is that micro-ionizes the droplets, right? And so water particles are 10 times smaller than they would normally be. And you know what? It reduces the water consumption by, drum roll, 80%. All right. So is this a profound innovation for L'Oreal to go beyond just dunking a bottle, right, to solving a sustainability challenge? The last one I want to share, this is really about helping people self-actualize and let's call it lose weight too. There's a hardware engineer, his name is Ali Oradi, right? He wanted to lose weight and build muscle. So he did, as a scientist, he did an in-depth study of strength training, right? So the innovation principle here is look deeply at the mechanics of things. And to push this even further, you might try to find an essence of something. What's the essence of the mechanism here? And so he was working on, weightlifting, right? And he realized that the key to weightlifting is what? It's resistance. And so then, being creative, can we come up with a new form of resistance other than these metal plates? And what he came up with was using electromagnetic resistance as a way to get the strength training. And so now you can touch this machine and just dial in what kind of resistance you want to go against. It keeps track of all your data, gives you like Peloton, to Mary's point, it gives you training regimens, etc. The extraordinary thing about this thing is that because it's such an interesting and innovative idea, Steph Curry, Serena Williams, and LeBron James are all endorsers and investors. They've raised $450 million. The company is now valued at $1.6 billion. So that's a creative, that's a valuable creative strategy, right? And the last thing I want to share is because we'll all be hopefully dining, going out with family, enjoying family over the holidays. I said, well, what's a technique that would be really simple that you could do at the dinner table when your son or daughter, you ask them what's up and they just start grunting, right? I thought it would be fun if you could do an invention exercise with your family, and it's really, really simple. So the exercise is this. It's 2 steps. The first step is have everybody at the table come up with something you're passionate about, something concrete. It could be gardening, it could be cooking, it could be basketball, it doesn't matter, okay? So that's step 1. And step 2, drum roll, have them put the word smart in front of this thing that they're interested in and love. So what could an invention for smart cooking be? What could invention be for smart gardening? What's a smart basketball? And I guarantee, because of the Internet of Things and the digitalization of the world, that you will, around the dinner table, generate a whole bunch of cool inventions. So that's my curious and quirky holiday challenge to you all.